Hi, this is Mrs. Wilson. We're ready for our third reading lesson. And what are we reading? Birthright Reading, the At series. And if you want to order the book, you can find it on Amazon.com. This is what it looks like. It's only $15. And I'm going through all the lessons in the book. So if you're a teacher at school or a homeschooling parent, you will know how to teach a student to read, and they will be successful the rest of their life. If you have questions about the lessons, go to birthrightreading@yahoo.com, and I will answer any questions on the email for you. We're in our third reading lesson, and we have no new letter sounds to actually learn. We are learning the word I, which is really long vowel I, but we're not introducing short vowel I, and the word to, to, and we've already had short vowel a. Now we're learning long vowel a, like I see a dog, or a cat, or a girl went to the store. Last week we had lots of words: nan, ran, tan, and, at, rat. If that was too hard, remember I told you to go back and do book 2. Don't do anything that's too hard. Just do as much as the child can do. Redo the lessons. Make sure they know the beginning sounds. That's the most important. R, n, ta. Go back and on the spelling test, remember I said you don't have to give the short vowel blending words. You can just give a spelling test, which we really call a sound test, with just the sounds. You can just give a test on upper and lowercase letters if that's where they are. And if their printing or their handwriting is not ready for that, don't do that yet. But you can do dashes for them to begin. Remember, we've only been in school a couple weeks. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that every child is successful. So, we're on our third week, and we are going to make our words this week with our sand, and we're making a capital I down, across, and there's our capital I, and then you shake the sand and it comes. This, having a great big I, I've made lots of fun to touch letters with scratch pads that you can get. I think there's 5 or 7 in a pack at the dollar store. They're just wonderful. Down, across, and then the game that we do with the large I is pass it around, and everyone could do something with emotion, like I smile, I jump, I run, I jog, I walk, whatever the child comes up with, and then we would do it in our space. It's wonderful. So if you want to make a giant I, you'll have a great time doing it. Remember, Monday is slate day, so let's make our words I, and our next word is to, ta. Remember, we already know how to make lowercase t. Oo. The O sound here is oo. That's one of our 43 sounds. We're going to talk more about that later, but right now it's just ta, oo, to. And then we already know how to make an A. And this time we're not saying we have 2 sounds to it. A. Okay, I think we can write a sentence. I ran, n. And when you're sounding, you can say r, bra, n, ran, or you can say and ran. Remember, you want them to learn to connect the vowel to the front consonant and the back consonant. I ran to ooh. I hope I didn't get that too close. You tell the children to always make a finger space between words. Rat, rat. Now, in 3 weeks, maybe not all children will be able to make a sentence, but many will, and you've given them the sounds and you've practiced, and then they'll hold their large slates up. And for a very young child, you don't have to put too much on the slate. You can make it, much. Remember, you're just learning how to print. I ran to Nan. We start our sentences with a capital. We end with a period. We talked about it last week, and it's really important to do it every week, and that is laying the letters on top. So I made them bold, and if you take the time to teach that skill, to lay the letters on top and then check the student, they're going to be reading in no time. So we need a capital A for our word is and and I have two ABCs here, so we have two N's. A N, and here's my other N. N. And then somebody just walks by, or the student raises their hand, and you say, sound it to yourself, give yourself a check. You can still run a reading group, and they can have their hand up in the air, or if you're a homeschooling parent, it's very easy. But there is just no substitute for doing this. And some children take to it right away. Others, have to be convinced that this is fun. But I'm telling you, after a couple days, it's easy as pie for them. So let's put our N's away, and our capital A, we're on the A sound here. And let's get our new, these are the review of our old words, and our new ones are I. We have capital I, uppercase, and we're doing to, ta-oo. You don't need to tell this to the children, but O and A have so many different sounds, but it's going to be easy as pie to learn them. And then capital A and lowercase a, and I, ta-oo, to, a. You do that every day, and it just becomes second nature. So we'll put our ABC letters away. You see how very important they are to reading. And we're so lucky to live in America, where we have access to easy, inexpensive materials. So we've already reviewed last week. Again, the whole idea is that you want your young learner to know just how smart and capable they are. Give them specific compliments. Don't overwhelm them, and all of this will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, every week we do our sandpaper letter, and the only one is I, because we don't really do sandpaper words. You can do down, cross, cross, or cross, down, across. Both. I really think it's easier to do down, cross, cross. Now we're ready for our reading group, and maybe the first day you're going to do small books. Let's see what we've got here. I think I'll put my glasses on for this. A rat ran to Anne. Okay. I ran to Nan. Started with a capital, ended with a period. Anne ran to Nan. Rat ran to Anne. Everybody's running over to see Anne. I ran to rat. Oh my goodness. That would be interesting. Okay, and then we've got our bingo game. Again, if you play these games every week, you can't help but be successful. So I told you last week I made the cards smaller so I could get 4 word cards on a page, like bingo cards, and you have a caller. You can play with 2, 3, or 4 players, or if you have more, you want to make cards for 6, you can do that and put our new words and a few of our old words, or just letters, just wherever the student is. So we've got the counters and caller words in there, all ready to play a game of bingo. And remember, the first thing every day you're going to play is knock knock. And I made 2 colored knock knock today with A, I, I, 2, A, 2. Okay, so what we're going to do today is play. You're going to knock one of each color. Knock knock, who's there? A, not A today. Knock knock, who's there? Ah, lowercase a. That was uppercase a, so that doesn't match. Knock knock, who's there? Lowercase 2 T-O. Knock knock, who's there? Ah, uppercase I. Didn't find a match. We'll move on, but remember, the students love to play this game. Here's your knock knock cards. I did on just 2 knock knock cards. I wrote the letters out this way so you don't have to type things, and just use a dark permanent mark. Doesn't even have to be permanent, it could be dry erase. Have a paper under it. You can always write on thin paper, and you can lay the letters on top like this. You just make the work as easy and most accessible, but let it make sense and be well defined. And here's our sentences. I'm telling you, all you do is make up the cards, have the students cut them out. This is so amazing that when the parents and other teachers and even your principal will come in and see that your children are making sentences. I ran to Anne ran to Nan, a tan rat ran, Nan ran to a rat. Here's our sound test. I to a, and Nan ran, tan rat at. Remember, don't go to lesson 3 until you're sure that you know lesson 2 with our short vowel words. And then every week we put in our new words in our word wall. I've got them all put up for you. And remember, you're taking percent grades. Percent grades are lasting grades. They're real grades. Take 2 grades every week, 1 on reading and 1 on spelling. And we're going to read the book. You're going to love book 3. I A2AA Book 3, Ta-oo-two, Ta-oo-two. Here are pictures of a ghost that says boo, an old owl that says hoo, and a cow that says moo. And they all have that oo sound with the O. And you don't bring up the fact that sometimes there's 2 zeros, sometimes there's not. Don't ever mention that. We'll talk about it when we need to. I ran to rat. Well, there's little duck running. Ann ran to rat. Ann is the dog. So we've got a duck and a dog. Nan ran to rat. Rat ran to Ann. I ran to Ann. Nan ran to Ann. I ran to Nan. Ann ran to Nan. Rat ran to Nan. I to A. A rat ran. I ran to a rat. And that's it. And this is the page for them to make their letters in their book. You have a testing book here. I counted up the words in the story. There are 50 words, so it would be -2 for everyone that's missed, and they should all get great grades. Remember that we start each lesson with the Pledge of Allegiance. We're all so grateful to be citizens of this wonderful country, and we are one nation under God, indivisible, meaning undivided, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great evening, and God bless America.